Here's a fun game called Feral that is pay what you want on drivethrurpg, and let's take a look at it. So here we go with the cover, very colorful with these animals. So we got a dog, we've got a skunk, a raccoon, a cat, possum, a rat, a bird, and like a flying squirrel. So, and there's like a trash can, and it says Game and Art by J.B. Spencer. So let's take a look. So it says it's crucial that you trash talk the entire game. Your pest posse just got the drop on the location of a one-of-a-kind grade A trash trove. Obtaining it won't be easy. You'll need to combine your skills, smarts, and attitudes if you want to be known around the streets as the baddest posse in town. And then you're going to create your character. You roll 2d8 and 1d6 to determine your VSR, your vibe, species, and role. So your vibe is like big mouth or noob or suave. Your species is going to be a dog, a raccoon, possum, skunk, cat, squirrel, rat, or pigeon, and they all are kind of classes, I guess if you could say. And then what role do they have? Intel, leader, gearhead, navigator, grifter, enforcer. So you are playing animals in this game, and it doesn't take itself seriously. You're supposed to have a lot of fun, and like it says, trash talk in the game. So you've got some traits. So every pest knows there's always one great flaw that haunts you. What's yours? Choose one of the 4 traits as your flaw. You'll roll 2d6s and take the higher number on any actions regarding this trait. So it could be smarts, nimbleness, soul, or brawn. And those are divided between the 2 stats, streetwise and feral. And each starts at position 3. So feral is going to be anything animal: bark, chirp, squeak, climb, jump, run. Streetwise is going to be anything not related to animaling: charming people, tech hacking, lock picking, driving. So these are not just normal animals, they're smart ones. And then you've got a hyper focus. Once your feral or streetwise stat gains to 4 or 6, you enter into hyper focus. For feral, for any physical actions, you roll 2d6 and take the lower number. But unfortunately, with streetwise, you're going to take the higher number with 2d6. And then the opposite for streetwise. You'll get some starting equipment, and then it's going to tell you about your actions. So how does this game work? When you choose to act, roll 1d6 to decide the outcome. If it's equal to or under your appropriate stat, it's a success. If it's above, it's a failure. Acting within your role, such as intel, leader, gearhead, and so on, or your special skills, you roll 2d6 and take the lower result. When attacking, the player will roll 1d6. If the outcome is equal to or under the appropriate stat, it's a success. On a success, whoever is being attacked rolls 1d6, and if it's equal to or lower than the player's roll, then they evade the hit. So you want to roll low in this game. If hit, the player will obtain 1 wound. In the heat of the moment, when danger arises and you have to think fast, you're going to flip a coin to see if you succeed or you fail when you get a tails on that coin. When you succeed on a plan you came up with, move 1 point towards streetwise or decide to heal a wound. That's pretty cool. You've got some lady luck. You can double or nothing. There is a bar called an underground bar called The Hole, owned by Molly the Mole. Have a drink and join the poker tables with the rest of the seedy pests to gain insight. Wounds. When you acquire 4 wounds, move your feral stat to 5. So obviously you're going to start to fail stuff more often unless you're already on a 6. You can heal a wound by having a smoke and or a drink while you narrate like an old noir detective. I actually think that's hilarious. Your pest's inner thoughts around a personal inner conflict. If you are at 6 with either stat and fail, if you fail feral, you freak out and animal control puts you in the slammer. If it's streetwise, nearby humans see you acting like people and capture you to perform in their animal performance show. That's hilarious. You must roll 1d12 and get a 12 to escape and return to your game. If all players get pinched, the job is a bust and the game ends. And then we've got kind of some more breakdown stuff for the feral GM. Eras and locations, security features, encounters that you can roll up, the posse hideout and treasure, creating your villain, and extra features if you want to spice some stuff up with maybe supernatural, sci-fi, fantasy, or horror. So really, this is a really kind of big package here in just a very small page count. But some fun stuff to roll up there. And then you've got a more detailed character creation here, telling you more about the roles, the traits, the stats, the backstory of your character, and of course your vibe, species, and role. And then it's going to bring down each one of them like a dog. Their special skill is the nose. Roll an extra d6 when smelling and take the lower result. And then the rest of these things for each one appears to be the same, except for like things like dog facts, such as their smell sense is a 12-mile range, or their hearing is up to 1,300 feet. So you're going to have each one of those. It's going to kind of give you a little bit more pizzazz with your type of animal. The cat, you roll an extra d6 when trying to listen in and take the lower result. And of course, it has like their smell sense and their hearing and their night vision. The rat, roll an extra d6 when attempting to squeeze into small spaces and take the lower result. They're going to be the squeeze, of course. And of course, their ability to smell sense and hearing and night vision. You've got the raccoon, who is the mischief. He rolls an extra d6, and when trying to cause mischief, pranks, tricks, thievery, or booby traps, and take the lower result. You get the possum, who is the teeth. They can bite through stuff really good, and they can play dead to avoid animal control or being captured by humans twice during a session. So you've got the squirrel. It's the sneak. Roll an extra d6 when attempting to be stealthy and take the lower result. You can play the flying squirrel, which I would probably play because this might be a little bit unbalanced here. You get the same special skill as the sneak, but you also have the ability to glide up to 500 feet at 35 miles per hour. That's pretty helpful. You've got the skunk. Guess what? Eats the stinker. You roll an extra d6 when attempting to spray and cause a stink and take the lower result. The pigeon can recognize up to 58 words. Roll an extra d6 when attempting to read languages and take the lower result. That could actually probably be very helpful, and of course their abilities as well. Then you've got your character sheet here, so it looks pretty good. And then some more stuff for the Game Master. This is just some things you can print off. It's very much like that other page broken down. It's got the rules for attacking. These are kind of like GM screens. And then future games, talking about every 5 jobs that you do, they'll start to build up a reputation, and so on and so forth. Here's the thing about creating your villain. Here's a game master roadmap, such as the intro, the search, the event, the crisis, the showdown, and the resolution, pretty much breaking down the outline for the adventure. And then you've got already here a pre-made module in the 1920s. The location is a college campus. Security, it breaks down the treasure, extra features, encounters, and a villain, which is an international spy. So very helpful to have a pre-made module, and it tells you, it breaks down all those things, the search, the event, and so on. And then it's got some extra notes here. Just some things it says, I'd make a list of things that I'd find fun to play, introduce, and any information that the players will need to learn. Having a list without attaching these things to any specific timeline can be helpful and give you a bunch of stuff to use when the players steer away from your pre-planned storyline. So there's a bit of a list, and then of course a last note. So ultimately, as I scroll back up, it's a fun game. It's pay what you want. So as always with those releases, I tell you, if you enjoy this game, please send some money their way to help them along in their role-playing game journey as they produce products. So if you like it, send some money. So there it is. There's Feral. Seems like a fun kind of, I like the trash talking aspect of it. Just a fun game to play with some people and maybe have a lot of good laughs out of it. So there it is. There's Feral.